All right, folks. Sorry, I didn't have the mic on, but I want to show you something that I find very interesting. If you remember back on our inauguration day, usually when the president elect is, when it becomes inauguration day, the military sends a plane to pick him up to bring him to his inauguration. If you'll remember, the military did not send a plane to pick up Biden. He had to charter a plane and get to Washington on his own. Now, that in itself is very interesting. But here's something that I think is extremely interesting, and I want to show it to you. This is a program that I use for a lot of aviation things. And you see this plane right here. It departed from the Wilmington area, and they're on their way to Washington. As you can see by this picture right here, it's one of the presidential birds. Now, it's not the 747, but it's one of the presidential birds. The vice president uses a plane like this, the secretary of state, and that kind of thing. But and then I want to prove that this is the plane that Biden is on. Here is his schedule for today, Wednesday the 17th at 9:40 a.m. President departs Wilmington, Delaware, en route to Washington, D.C. There's Wilmington, Delaware, and they're heading to Washington, D.C. This is the plane that Biden is on. But now here is the interesting that I want you to see. Look up in this left corner, right above that picture. I want you to look right here. You see where it says NA? You see that? Well, right there is where it's supposed to say Air Force One, or they use the abbreviation AF1 for Air Force One. He is on this plane. It is a presidential military bird, but it is not called Air Force One. Now, it's not just this one time, but any time he has flown on a military plane, it has not been called Air Force One. Now, that is very, very unusual. The only time Trump got onto a presidential bird plane and flew that it was not called Air Force One is on January the 20th when he left Washington and went down to West Palm Beach. That's the only time that a plane that he was on said NA, just like this one. But every time Biden gets on a plane, it is not called Air Force One. Now, I wonder why. Well, the obvious answer is because the military did not send a plane to pick him up, and they refuse to call any plane that he is on Air Force One. It seems obvious that the military does not recognize Biden as the commander-in-chief. Yeah, you heard it. So here's that. This is proof. This is not out of context. This is not biased. It's just the flat out truth. Biden is on a military plane, and it is not called Air Force One. Let me show it to you again. There's his plane. Took off from Wilmington, Delaware, just like this says he did. You see it's coming down. He's going to come down this way. He's going to turn, and he's going to land right here at Joint Base Andrews. But it's not Air Force One. There you go. I thought you would find that interesting. Now, listen. Yesterday, I put up my first video podcast. It's on the subject of pedophilia. It's hard to watch. There's a lot of gut-wrenching information on there. But please, go back and look at the video. Here are the platforms that I am listing my videos on. There's my YouTube link for my YouTube channel. There's the Rumble link, the BitChute link, and I'm also on Telegram as Doc Bunkley, all one word with a capital D. All my videos that I'm going to be making are going to be on these platforms. I'm on Facebook Live right now. Don't know how much longer they're going to let me do this on Facebook and probably YouTube as well. But the other links are there. Rumble and BitChute and Telegram. I can pretty well stay on with the stuff that I'm covering. But there you go. That's something that I thought that you might be interested in. Hope you all have a great day, and we will see you later. Bye-bye.